what we're doing is we're projecting it up. Now I have Laura over here, and she's going to be tracing it. So then once I have that, then what I do is I take my duct tape, scotch tape, masking tape, whatever kind of tape you got. And what you do is you always tape it down, because I've seen it before. You get everything lined up and a breeze comes through or somebody opens up the door and your piece moves.
This is a great little tip. Look at this! Using the heat gun on the sheep makes them look fluffy.
Man, I got a little trick up my sleeve. Check out this chair. 15 bucks in a garage sale. Isn't this awesome? It's got the arms. Wait to see what I'm gonna do with this thing. We're gonna turn this into the most incredible throne you've ever seen, with a crown, lots of bling, lots of gems, jewels. You're not gonna recognize this chair when I'm done with this thing. Okay, now what we got our spray glue for foam. Make sure when you get spray glue at your home improvement store, make sure it says for foam. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our glue and we're gonna spray.
And you kind of fold it over the edges a little bit?
Hold on, let me spray the other side a little bit. And then what you're gonna do, watch your nails, Joni. Okay, a little here, we're good.
Perfect.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start up here. We're gonna bat it down, and look at this. You see how that just smoothed that right out?
Now it looks like it's a little bit rough here.
Well, that doesn't have to worry about it, because when we take the fabric, we wrap the fabric around it.
Okay, this is just
And
kind
that's
of
it,
a
just to smooth it out.
layer there.
Then the next step, what we're gonna do is put the front on, and then the best part is adding the fabric.
We attached our chair to the foam throne using zip ties. Use multiple ties to make it really secure. Now we're just tearing up some small pieces of batting to create some plushness for our throne, and simply covering it with one large piece of batting.
You see, we have this nice contour, very lush throne chair. So around the edges, I want it to keep really clean and neat. So what I'm doing is I'm just spraying around the corner and taking it. You see how I'm kind of stretching it, so I have this nice overall look and feel here, and I'm just tucking it down in here. Keep it nice and neat. Then the next thing to do is add our red fabric, and man, we're gonna have a beautiful throne chair. This is our red fabric now that Rodney's putting on. And what we've done is we've doubled it up, and we've taken the glue and we've sprayed it along the edge, and we're kind of just tucking it along and just gluing it. It's gonna work out perfect, so don't worry about having to cut it and what's the pattern and everything else. It's kind of like just tuck and glue and have fun with it.
To really give the throne an authentic look, Bruce is simply hammering nails through our fabric to create a tufted look.
Now we put the jewels on. This is the fun part. We got Haley here. So what we're gonna do is you take a piece of scrap cardboard and you turn them upside down. Look at this, upside down. But what you're gonna do is you're just gonna lightly spray the back sides of the jewels. And let's just say I want them up here. And I'm just lightly gonna spray. And then I take, and that's all you do. You know, of course, when you're in the courtyard, you've got to have the majestic king's chair. You know, this was a lot of fun to make and build. I really enjoyed this one. And I'm going to show you how we did it. If you look right here, what we did is we went to a thrift store and we got this old wooden chair that you can't even see behind here anymore, which is awesome. But we started with a basic chair that hardly cost us anything. Then what we did is we took our foam, our 1-inch foam, and we kind of doubled it up. And this whole thing about the chair, it doesn't have to look exactly like this. You can make your chair higher, you can make it lower, you can make it fatter, you can make it thinner, whatever you want. And this is the best thing about this. I want you to be the artist and design and create your own chair. But what we did here is we took our foam and we doubled it up to get the weight and the heaviness of the chair. Then what I did is I designed this crown up on top. Then we went to a hobby store and we got these plastic gems, and look how it just glows and pops with this. Man, what a majestic chair. Then we got batting. Now this was the fun part. We got batting, and I had the volunteers rip up all the batting, and we used a spray glue. Now be very careful. The spray glue is for foam, because if it's not, it will melt the foam. Very, very important. So what we did is we sprayed on our glue, and we tore up our batting, and we glued it and patted it all down. We had this nice little puffy thing going on. Then we took another layer of batting, and then we glued it along the edges and all the way down the back of our chair. And we took our red fabric, we laid it on, we cut it to our contour of our seat of our chair, took that spray glue, just sprayed it around the edge and tucked it in the edge, and look at that. There's not one stitch in here, it's all glue, which makes it so fun. Then what we did is we took our nails and we pushed our nails through. Now in some parts where we pushed our nails through, went right into the center of the chair, so we had to use a hammer to get through. Then we took our jewels and we glued our jewels in there, and look at this. We have this beautiful tufted, majestic looking throne chair. It's just absolutely beautiful. So this was one piece here. Then we took our extra fabric. Now what I did here to make these arms look thicker is I took some foam and I doubled it up on this side, and I put foam over here and wrapped it. And once I wrapped it, then we took the batting and we did 2 layers of batting to really get that bulk and that heaviness here of this big thick arm. And then after we did that, and then what we did is you just kind of went for it. You just took the red fabric, you dragged it around, you tied it off, and you just kind of just have fun with it and tuck it here, cut it there, and glue it there is the best way to get a majestic looking king's chair like this.
Bruce is starting us off by creating this out-of-this-world rocket.
Okay, we're building our rocket ship. I put a bunch of parts and pieces together. And just so you see what it looks like before you start putting it together, we have this wonderful water jug. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some lights in here so it gives it movement and lighting in there. And then what I'm thinking of doing is we're going to take this and put that on top like that. Then I'm thinking is when we're going to take a can, and then we're going to put the can on top. And then I'm going to go with a smaller can, and we're going to put that on top. And then I have a juice drink box here somewheres, and that's going to be a top of a rocket. And when we get this all duct taped up and painted, this is going to be one cool rocket. Okay, now what we're going to do to add those lights in our water jug, we're going to drill an 1.5 inch hole in the bottom so our plug will go through. We're going to run everything out the bottom. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have my hot glue gun here, right here, and we're going to use duct tape, but I just want to use the glue so it sets up fast enough for me just to see where I have everything. Then I'll use the duct tape, and that'll make it really secure. Prime it, paint it, we got a rocket. What we have is we got our fins for our rocket, which is pretty cool. So we have all our base colors on here, which is great. But of course we want to go the extra mile and just take the paint color, the base color. I put a little bit black into it just to give it a little bit of life to it. And that's what I'm doing is I'm taking a 1-inch sponge brush right now. And again, I'm just freehanding the whole thing. And I'm going to do that with the green. And again, it's just going that extra mile that gives it that extra pop. Well, what I'm doing right now, we just have this great rocket ship, remember? 5-gallon pickle jar, water bottle, lights, paint bucket, gallon can of paint, a soup can, and a sippy cup. And somehow we took all those objects and we turned it into the coolest rocket ship ever. And we're not even done yet. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the base green, put a little bit of the teal into it, and I'm just adding a little bit of features just to give it a little bit more pop and a little bit more life.
Bruce has an awesome idea on how to tropically transform an everyday stool.
Man, we are saving money here, aren't we, Tracy? We are definitely saving money, and I'm excited about this. This is just an ordinary stool right here inside the church. And what we did is we took and we slit the paper towel tube right down the center here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just feed it right on. And after we build this up, it's going to be painted and look just like bamboo. Okay, we have our stools here that we wrapped in cardboard tubes, paper towel tubes. So we have some very thin rope here. What I'm going to have you guys do is basically just go through and just tie one little knot. That's all you have to do. And then there's no rhyme or reason to this or science. Then what you're going to do is just take your rope and just go back and forth, almost like an ace bandage, on your wrist. So just back and forth. Exactly. And then you get a good X pattern going, and then you come around this side, and then back down, okay? And that way it's gonna look like the bamboo's all attached together. So what I want you to do is give me some rope here. This is just gonna be wrapped around and at each joint. That's all I want you to do, okay? Awesome.